Hello, welcome to Longshot Larry's Sports Astrology. We're looking at the final of the Australian Open for the men's. Tsitsipas versus Djokovic. Djokovic is the overwhelming favourite for this one. Scheduled to start about 7:45. So in this chart here, we've got a Cancer ascendant. So we're looking at the moon. The moon's in Taurus, so Venus is ruling the favourite Djokovic and also rules the MC. Tsitsipas, we've got Capricorn on the descendant, so he's ruled by Saturn. On the IC we've got Scorpio, however the part of fortune is in Scorpio also, so we give precedence to Mars as ruler of this part of fortune, which also represents the favourite Djokovic. So looking at the Frawley method, the moon on the MC, very close, is one for the favourite. The moon will square Saturn in 8 degrees, that's too far. You can also see here Venus, which represents Djokovic, is applying to a trine to the part of fortune, but that doesn't account for anything in the Frawley system. Looking at the anti-scaling positions, the only aspect the moon's going to make within orb is will sextile Mars in 2.5 degrees, which is ruler of the part of fortune, which is a weak one for Djokovic. But this is interesting. Saturn, Lord of the 7th, the underdog, is applying to the anti-ski on the part of fortune, 1 degree. So that's a strong one for Tsitsipas. So there's a couple of aspects also in play here. We've got the Sun applying to a trine to Mars, won't be exact during this game, and also Mercury is applying to a trine to Uranus, once again won't be exact during this game. Looking at Tsitsipas, he's a Leo, so the moon is going to be squaring his Sun in about 2 degrees. That's okay because his Sun is trine the moon probably natally, so that's okay. He's got his Mars rising. Mars is very important for Leos. I use it as a second ruler of the Sun because the Sun is exalted in Aries. You've got Neptune applying to a trine to his Mars now. And Saturn is past the quincunx. So Neptune trining your Mars is very helpful. It's a very fluid action like dancing, that sort of thing. His main bugbear I can see is Pluto is opposing his Venus. Now Venus can represent your emotional state. A Pluto opposition is not great. Looking at his progressions, the only other major thing I can see is his Sun is applying to his Uranus, progress Uranus. His progress Mars is opposing that. Mars is sextile, which is some alleviation, so that's okay. The part of fortune is opposing his Saturn quite closely, which is probably another negative. Looking at the favourite Djokovic, and we've got a time chart here. The main reason I've liked Djokovic all along is this. Jupiter is exactly conjunct his moon within 1 minute. Now, we've seen that aspects don't always win, but that's highly indicative of a very happy state of mind if you compare that to Tsitsipas with Pluto opposing his Venus. That looks good for Djokovic. How does he relate to this moon? Because this is very important. Moon's passed to trine to his ascendant, but if you look carefully, you can see his Mercury and Jupiter are both 18 degrees, and Mercury is important, it rules his Gemini Sun. The moon will be going over that Mercury-Jupiter midpoint in about 1 degree. Now, midpoints are a bit exotic. I have found them, they work okay when you've got a very prominent planet and the moon's prominent, so that's helpful for him. Otherwise, the moon is quincunx his Saturn, and Saturn is opposing his Mercury natally. So, interesting pattern there. But that Jupiter moon's the most important in my estimation. He's also got Mercury sextile his MC very close. And the Uranus opposition, which we've talked about before, is moving away. And progression-wise, he does have his progress Mars on the ascendant, try Neptune as well. Now here's the bugbear which concerns me. His progress Sun is now 5 Cancer 23, which is moving into square his moon. So Jupiter is actually blowing that up. I still think Jupiter conjunct the moon wins out on this one. So we'll see how that pans out. I'm going to look at the chart for Greece, because Tsitsipas is a hero in Greece. How's the moon line up to that? Well, the moon is sextile Mars, which rules the Aries Sun. This is not a time chart, and sextile Venus, very nice. And Jupiter, up here at 5 Aries, we've got to move over here, is going across the Sun, Mercury, Jupiter, stellium. Also very good. What about Serbia? Because Djokovic is Serbia's sporting hero. For Serbia, not as strong. The moon is semi-square Mercury applying, which rules the Sun, and applying to a square to Neptune. That's a bit of a negative. The Venus is applying to a trine to the Mercury, trine the part of fortune, which rules the Sun, which is a positive. So country-wise, you'd have to lean with Greece there. So in summary, The Frawley method, you've got one strong indicator for the favourite and another strong indicator for the underdog. Pretty even. The Moon sextile, the antiskra of Mars, leads towards Djokovic, the favourite, so that tips the balance in his favour. And we can't count these other three indicators, they're too far away. Tsitsipas looks pretty good. The only concern I have is that Pluto opposing his Venus and the part of fortune opposite Saturn. Greece looks good. Djokovic looks good. Only concern is the progress sun square his moon, otherwise everything looks okay. Serbia, well, Greece looks superior to Serbia. So in summary, the Frawley method has an edge to Djokovic. The players, I think that Jupiter conjunct Moon for Djokovic is key. Countries line up with Greece, so overall I think Djokovic wins this. Now the previous two Slam finals have gone to 5 sets. This Moon up here sextile, antiskra Mars in about 3 degrees. Tends me to believe it'll be 3 sets. So please like, subscribe, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.